For the past 30 hours or so, I've been absorbed in the world of Dark Souls 1, and after getting around to the halfway point, I want to say that I can see why people praise this game so much compared to later titles. I've tried Dark Souls 1 numerous times in the past, but I just cannot get into the slow, methodical nature of the gameplay, and it doesn't help my case either that I've been trying to do all this on an emulator because I couldn't justify buying the game full price back then. I also believe that because Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 were my first FromSoft titles, I was already so used to the fast-paced combat that looking at DS1 paled in comparison, but I was ready for something new that I never tried before. No playthrough, no guides, just me and the land of Lordran. This is going to be a part 1 of 2 covering my thoughts and experience with Dark Souls 1 up until after I beat Ornstein and Smough. So I just want to put this out there, but this game is gorgeous. Walking through the Undead Burg and Parish after the Asylum, it gives me a sense of dread and grim followed by wonder, if that makes sense. Like, this world is ruined, and as the chosen undead, it feels like I have a sense of responsibility to do something about it, prevalent by our plot, which I have to praise the game for how they went about it. You don't even get to the real plot of the game until the halfway point, but until then, you are tasked with ringing 2 bells of awakening, one in the Undead Parish and one in Blighttown. Continuing through the area until I get to the twin gargoyles, and I'm not gonna lie, I got my ass handed to me at least 10 times before I said fuck it and summoned Solaire. That was after I had to scour the lands for humanities because the walk back was worse than the actual boss itself. Like, going through that room with all those pink fuckers and that giant mage, I would come up those ladders with like 3 flasks if I didn't die already losing my humanity. But when I did beat the gargoyles, I felt something I haven't felt since Shadow of the Erdtree. That feeling of accomplishment after trying so hard for so long. And with these bastards out of the way, I was feeling so good about myself. I managed to get the halberd by cutting off its tail, and I'm still using it to this point, accompanied by the Chaos Blade, but I'll talk about that later. The second bell was in my grasp up until I came to my first actual roadblock, being these motherfuckers. More so these 2 ugly fucks than him. I can't tell you how many times I attempted this fight, each time with me getting mauled, decimated, annihilated. The shit was awful. I tried doing the cheese with the poison pies or whatever those things are called, but nothing was working until I saw someone's phantom go up the stairs by that little balcony, and you can see where I'm going with this. I killed the 2 isolated dogs, enchanted my weapon with lightning, and drop until dude was dead in like 3 or 4 hits. This motherfucker took me like 2 off days to beat, and on top of that, when I did beat him, I died immediately after to the mobs outside. Then I died again on the walk back, so I didn't even get to enjoy my reward for all that hard work. I want to stop here to appreciate the world design in this game because it's actually so good. Like, after the Capra Demon, going from lower Undead Parish to the depths, then to Blighttown, it actually feels like I'm traversing these lands, even more evident when I found the back exit from Blighttown to New Londo Ruins. It felt rewarding as a player for the time I spent dying and exploring, as it gave me a means to escape this hellhole once I got to Quelaag. With her, I'm not gonna lie, I was just being stubborn. I didn't want to make the walk back knowing it was futile fighting her with a +1 weapon. I was tickling her while she made origami with my organs, but that was until I trained my feet for this walk back to Andre, picking up a humanity on the way. A +5 weapon and humanity meant bad news for her as I killed that NPC and got her summoned, so with those 2, Quelaag was made into Swiss cheese evidently. Upgrading weapons in this game is unique as there are multiple blacksmiths and multiple different materials for different things. Andre can reinforce her weapons with any Titanite or Ember, but you can only buy the special Titanite like green or large from the giant blacksmith in Anor Londo. Also, the giant blacksmith is the only person who you can craft boss weapons from. Not all materials are sold, obviously. Like, if you have a demon weapon like I do, then you need demon titanite found in the world to upgrade it. And let me add the wonders of these little reinforced kits, because with these, you can upgrade your weapon and armor at any bonfire. All you need to do is have the souls. So hats off to FromSoft for creating such an in-depth crafting system. Moving on though, after I rang the second bell and returned to Firelink Shrine, I was greeted by a polite serpent who would tell me that my job isn't over yet and that I need to acquire the Lord Vessel and succeed Lord Gwyn. It was at this point I knew there was something special about this game, as everything I just went through wasn't even the main game. I had been given 4 objectives to complete in this game and I had only completed 1. I had to ring the bells of awakening in the Undead Burg and in Quelaag's domain. I had to acquire the Lord Vessel, fill it with 4 powerful souls being our 4 big bads, and on top of that, I had to succeed Lord Gwyn. I steeled my resolve and pressed forward. Hey, I'm just throwing this out there, but fuck Sen's Fortress. Like, actually fuck that place. The boss isn't even that hard, and when I got to about 30% HP left, I managed to knock it off the arena. It's this fucking obstacle course I have to go through that makes this place unbearable, and don't even get me on those fucking man snakes. Like, holy, I had to go back and farm levels because of those 2 cunts at the front gate, followed by the traps and lightning, and just fuck you. I'm not gonna lie, this was the only part of the game so far where I had to look up the shortcut because I was just so sick of dying to swinging axes. After defeating the Iron Golem, I was taken away by 2 demons to this beautiful but empty land that is Anor Londo, and the hype for this place is real. The music, the big reveal once you get over the wall, it's a lot to take in. I'm taking my time with this area, I truly am, as I'm checking every nook and cranny, killing every field enemy. I found the giant blacksmith, which felt rewarding on its own, as in DS3, to get boss weapons, all you need to do is kill the cursed rotted greatwood, which is literally the 2nd or 3rd boss in the game, and you already have the means to upgrade at Firelink Shrine. After getting my Chaos Blade and upgrading my Gargoyle's Halberd, I felt confident about completing the area and acquiring the Lord Vessel. And I sure as hell was mistaken, because of these 2 pieces of shit had me overstaying my visit at Anor Londo for about 7 hours, or what it seemed like. 7 hours, no humanities, because I'm getting invaded constantly and having to fight these fuckers off, and I'm not winning every fight, obviously. Not when motherfuckers have shockwaves and mini Chernobyls flying at me. I was losing hope as I had died to an invade using my last humanity until these words popped up on my screen. This would be another moment where my quest for knowledge was unsated, as Reddit became my friend and it told me to pop my black eye, and after 4 attempts I was blessed with 5 humanities that I would use in that same moment to summon Solaire and kill Ornstein Smoke in that next attempt. These 2 fucks, I swear, took me at least 30 to 35 tries at least, as I'm here trying to analyze every attempt, recognizing signs of certain attacks, figuring out how each one moves. It was a trial until I was able to solo Ornstein within the first minute, but after that it was me with 1 or 2 flasks, like 27 vigor on stats, and a super smoke with lightning attacks added on. Holy fuck, I got beat like a dog until that moment I mentioned earlier with the black eye. With these 2 out of the way though, I was ready to collect what was rightfully mine, being the Lord Vessel. Opening those doors, seeing Guinevere with that triumphant music, it made me feel a sense of accomplishment. Like everything I had went through in those 7 hours was worth it for that one moment. It was a trial and checkpoint by FromSoft to see if I as a player was ready for the rest of the game had to offer. I passed that trial, and just like everyone else who came before and everyone else who comes after, I'd earned my stripes. Now it's time for me to press forward and collect the 4 Lord Souls needed before I'm able to succeed Lord Gwyn. This is part 1 of my Dark Souls 1 kind of introspection, if that's even the kind of word to use. This game is definitely top 3 FromSoft titles for me, as it's nice to go back to the root of the Souls series where it all began. Minus Demon Souls, because with that game, I just know where these devs were still trying to find their footing. It gives me newfound appreciation. I hope you've enjoyed this first part. This has been Grief, and I'll see you guys later.